All right, so what I'm going to do is what I call my magic trick for fixing, because I've just fixed my own knee pain, which made me think, I got to show you this video if you don't already know it. I've given these same exercises to thousands upon thousands over the last 30 years of people in my clinic with knee pain, and it helps the vast majority of people. You're going to see it if you've got knee pain on yourself and see these results. So I stirred up my just playing lots more pickleball than I'm used to, stirred up my right knee, and I did these and fixed this knee pain. It's completely pain-free literally within a day, okay? So do this for yourself. If you've got knee pain, give these to your clients and you're going to see these fabulous results just like I have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do this. Now think about this. If you're a massage therapist, how many times have you been, they find out you're a massage therapist, you're out at a party or a dinner party, and they say, oh, I gotta come and see you, and fill in the blank pain that they've got. So the next time you have someone that said, yeah, I'd love to come and see you, I've got a problem with my knee, give them these exercises, take you 2 minutes to explain them, give them these exercises until they come and see you. Book them in for Monday, for example, if it's a Friday night. Say, do this every 2 hours over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So you're doing it 10 or 15 times each day, and you will see they'll come in feeling fantastic, maybe pain-free, or if not, they'll be vastly better for the vast majority of people. So what we're going to do here, now, after I show you quickly, I'm going to tag on the actual lecture from one of my courses where I explain it in more depth if you want to go into a bit more detail, but I'm just going to show you this very quickly. So I'm going to go back here. Now, firstly, what is a really good thing for you to do is to get a litmus test. In other words, what makes it hurt? And the vast majority of people say, when I bend, if I squat, that sort of thing, going up and down stairs. So if you get them to bend their knees, right, because then what you can, so that's to test it, to produce the pain, and then you can retest it to see how they are afterwards, right? And don't worry if they're not completely pain-free immediately, but just get them to do that. So that way, when they come back, say, how's that squat? They go, oh yeah, it's way better, right? Okay, so I'll show you what to do, okay? All right, so the very first thing you want to do is to get them to extend. Now, because the vast majority of people with knee pain is bending their knee, right? The vast majority, right? It's very, very few who say, oh no, it's when I really extend. The vast majority is, oh, when I squat, yeah, that's it there, right? So we're going to do the opposite movement. So, because, and I'll go into this in more depth, because the vast majority lack passive extension, which I'll go into later on. But all you need to do is to get the person, they can do it on the floor, hands above the knee, and you're going to get them to just gently overpress 10 times, okay? Every hour. That is it. So you can get them down. Now, I'll talk about pain, right? So just get the hand above the knee. Now, let's say that's painful, okay? If they're really sensitive, they're really sort of afraid of it, just get them to do it before the pain, okay? And this depends on which client you've got. So just go, how's that? Is that comfortable? Yeah, I can do that, no problem at all, all right? Now, you might have someone that says, does that hurt? Yeah, I can feel it. Does it hurt? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, you okay with it? Yeah. Is it increasing each time you do it? No, I can just feel it each time. Like when I go there, yeah, I can feel that. Are you okay with that? Yeah. No, it's no problem. Is it increasing? No. No, it's just the same each time. Now, you might find it's the same each time. They might go, actually, the more I do this, it's actually getting less and less, all right? So if it stays the same, the pain, each time over the 10 repetitions, or it gets less, that's a green light to continue, all right? So if you go with that, so about a 1 or 2 on the pain scale. Now, if someone's really, really apprehensive, get them to do it with no pain, okay? So that's what you're doing. You're pressing down above the knee to get more extension. That's the first exercise. Get them to do that. All right. Now, you could even from there, if you're at the dinner party, go, now, okay, how does that feel? Oh, gee, that feels way better, right? So that's your first one. The second one is the lack of tibial rotation. That's another problem. So all you do, what you're going to do here, and again, I'm going to go into this in more depth for you, but I'm going to do it quickly for you. Get your hands around there, or get your client to do this at home. Now, all of these are going to be done every hour. So they do that, and then do this one. So get them to do this and turn it inwards. So they're going to turn this tibia inwards and then bend the knee, keeping it turned. Don't let them come back when they come up. They are turning, all right? So turn it, internally rotate, and then bend. Once again, the same thing with pain. Is there any pain? No, actually, that feels a lot better. All right, that's a green light. Is there any pain? Yeah, there. Are you okay with it? Yeah, no problem. Okay, and then keep doing it. Is it increasing? No, it's not. So if it was increasing, then you could just say, okay, then you just back it off. So if you're either pain-free or you're doing it so it's not increasing, okay? Now that's still okay like that. It's not increasing, okay? That's a green light. So internally rotate and bend. Now just make sure, and I'll, as I say, the next lecture will go into more depth, that you're not, make sure they're not like that or going splaying out. Normally they'll splay inwards. Keep the knee over the first and second toe. So you've got good alignment. And that's it, all right? So, pressing down, and this is exactly how I fixed my knee. Pressing down 10 times. Coming up, internally rotate 10 times. Get them to do that every hour or two, say every hour, okay? And then, if you want to, you get them to check, how does that feel now? All right? Don't worry if it doesn't feel, but you will find lots of people will feel fantastic after you've done that. Don't worry if it doesn't, just keep going, keep doing that. I'm going to book in for 9 o'clock Monday, and then you see how you get on. All right? So now I'm going to show you, if you want to have a deeper dive, this is from one of my courses. I'll give you the link below. It's got a discount at the moment, so you can have a look at that if you're interested. But otherwise, just have a look at that. Keep this in your memory bank, and then it's going to get great results for your knee pain clients and, of course, yourself. All right, so now let's take a look at knee pain. Now, any knee pain, by the way. So if people come in and they tell you they've got meniscus, cartilage, runner's knee, jumper's knee, whatever it is, all you're worried about or thinking about is don't care about you don't tell them I don't care about the name, the pathology, but what you're thinking about is, as we've gone throughout the course, is does it hurt? Is it dysfunctional? Is it functional? Where's the pain? When's the pain? So we're looking at that. Range of motion, quality of motion, pain, right? Or lack of. So, all right, so the common restrictions we see, and I'm going to go into this with you, common restrictions we see are lack of passive extension in the knee. So I'm not talking about just straightening, so actively straighten the knee, right? I'm talking about when we overpress it to get passive extension. We need around about 10 to 20 degrees of that. So once that's locked out, we're going to test extension to see if there's that. It's generally a loss with knee pain, all right? I'm going to give you strategies to look at when it comes to if it's pain on flexion and that sort of thing. So that's number one we're looking at, a loss of passive extension. The second one is a loss of internal rotation. Now, this we're not going to test for, but just know that a lack of internal rotation of the tibia, so what we're going to do is treat for this, so I'll show you. So as far as the person, I'll just show you very quickly. Now, by the way, if you get really good, like the range of motions are fine, right, as far as extension goes, and in tibial rotation, none of that make a difference, then, as I say, get them to take that home. But if you've increased their range of motion but not their pain, start looking at hip restrictions and also ankle restrictions, which we'll get into in the next section. All right, so, but what I want to show you is how to do this, just to give you a bit of an understanding of it. I'll come back. So this is what you would give your clients to, so let's say the person's got, closer to the camera. So you would get them to, now they can do it up on a couch, whatever. Everything else applies, so just as far as pain goes, so just gentle overpressure to get back that extension, all right? So above the knee, lock it out, and just get them pressing down, all the same things, 10 times an hour, as we increase their passive extension. Right, now, and again, remember, back was putting in extension because of all the flexing we do, hips, too much flexing sitting forward, extending the hips. and we extend the knee. It's so easy to remember. And why? Because most people have pain on flexion because we're flexing so much. So what we want to do, this is a fantastic way to increase flexion pain-free. Now, when we do this, it's got to be pain-free for the person, okay? If not, it's too early and it might not be appropriate. And just keep them with this, all right? But here's what you want. So what we can do is grab hold here and internally rotate the tibia, okay? Internally rotate it, and then we're going to flex, and we keep that internal rotation going. And now try and line up the knee over the second toe so they're not going inwards. All right, whoops. Okay, so internally rotate. You will find, like me, this has helped so many of my knee pain clients. So where it was painful to flex. Oh, by the way, speaking of, make sure you get your litmus test like I've talked about throughout the course. So when you ask them, what does it stop you doing? Most people will probably say squatting, bending, going up and down stairs, that sort of thing. So you want to be able to check it afterwards, okay? So if they said squatting, then you check the squat afterwards. But for the moment, internally rotate. As we bend and come back, this stays internally rotated. You don't sort of let it go as you come back. It's the whole time. Remember, this is appropriate. It's a green light if it's pain-free. If it's not pain-free, again, pain-free to the point. Now, it might be painful when they get to a point, but you can keep it up to that point. Okay? But if it's painful the whole way, then don't do this one. But it is a fantastic, because the tibia, not only does the knee flex, but this has to internally rotate. That's what we're doing. So if it gets stuck and doesn't internally rotate, this can give knee problems, right? So when we flex the knee, the tibia must rotate. Likewise, it comes back, and we'll look at that, and we're going to get on the table as far as extension. But for the moment, internally rotate and keep that internal rotation. And this is a reset for your clients to do at home, okay? So keep it all the time. We are not releasing it, okay? And get them to do that as long as it's comfortable. So that's the internal tibial rotation. So they'll be doing that, and they're going to increase their extension with their hands above the knee on their thigh as you work through there. And as I say, if you increase that motion but not their pain, you want to start looking. Now, you will have already done the assessment on the back and hips, but if you just like very quickly, okay, let's just have a look at that. Like, again, remember the health fair, that sort of thing. But you will have done the assessment. You will have noted whether there's hip restrictions. And commonly, with hip flexion internally rotated, restrictions in hip flexion and internal rotations are commonly seen. So you want to fix those through the treatments I've shown you. And also that ankle dorsiflexion, which we'll get into as well, to increase that as well. Those can have effects. And likewise, remember, when it comes to loading strategies, like if someone couldn't, when you saw them their lower back there, this whole problem could be coming from them not being able to load onto that hip, that's putting excess strain on that. That's why we have, with a closed chain system, that's why we're checking all the way through to get rid of all of these asymmetries and imbalances.